and you can access the summary here from the tests and from this review. Is on this link. The first link that you're gonna find on your assignment is the slides file with the summary of with all the content, all the chapter 4, everything that we learned. Now let's start. And to begin with, we will work on the first question, which is the bell work. In the 2006 Orange Bowl Football Championship, Penn State scored 3 points, more than Florida State, in a 3 overtime thriller. The total points scored was 49. What was the score of the winner? There's 2 ways you can solve it. You can try numbers, and then you guess a few numbers and try to figure out what's the combination that makes one of the teams with 3 points more than the other one. For instance, let's say 25 and 24. Yes, the total is 49, but it still is not the right combination because the difference is not 3. Okay? And another way is by calculating, by using variables. And I'm going to show you this later. Right now, I need you all to give me your guess, your number. What do you think is the right answer? Type your messages. I want to record and make it available as well. You're going to say X is the score of the winner, X minus 3 is the score of the other team, the last, and the total is 49. Applying addition property, you have 2x equals 52, x equals 26, and 26 is going to be the right answer. Let's move to the quiz, and we have a kind of long quiz today because this is going to be the reference to the test tomorrow. Okay, let's work on all the questions. I want to work with you on all or most of the questions on this quiz. And starting here with letter A. If you have any questions at all, type here in the chat. And Chiara, thank you. Are we going to finish the whole review? Yes, that's my objective. Maybe I'm going to skip a few questions at the end if we have time. We will get back because we have the kind of questions like here. This is to simplify expressions. They are kind of similar. Let's work, and maybe I skip a few and then we come back. Thank you, Chiara. Let's work on letter A. For this question, we need to apply properties of exponents. So we are multiplying 2 monomials, and we will first multiply the coefficients, right? So -6 times 3, -18. And next step is to multiply the factor that have variables. We've multiplied the ones with the same base by adding the exponents. That means x exponent 4 times x exponent 8 is x exponent 4 plus 8. The answer is -18 x exponent 12. This is for letter A. Okay? Next one, let's check here letter B. Now we have a power. You have the monomial inside the parentheses, exponent 3. We work this out by a kind of, you can think this is kind of like a distributive property. You're going to distribute this exponent into each factor. -2 exponent 3 times a squared exponent 3 times b5 exponent 3. And when you have something like that, it's the power rule, you will multiply. So -2 exponent 3 is -8. A squared exponent 3 is a exponent 2 times 3, 6. And b5 exponent 3 is b exponent 5 times 3, 15. Right? Let us see. Now we have a fraction, and well, we can divide the coefficients. 24 divided by -8 is -3. And the variables, everything that's in the denominator, you can move to the numerator with a negative exponent, with the opposite exponent, I mean. It works like that. Repeat here, x5 times y3, and x4 is becoming here x negative 4, and y exponent 1 will become y exponent negative 1. Now we add the exponent of the ones that have the same base. This is equals negative 3 times x5 times x negative 4 is x 5 minus 4, 1. x3, y3 times y negative 1 is y exponent 3 minus 1, 2. This is going to be the answer. Okay? Let's work on D as well. Let's work on D. Check this out. We have the coefficients and we can keep it. Let's just repeat it, and after that we will simplify. Now about the variables. We have x negative 2 times y exponent 8, and the ones on the denominator we will change or move to the numerator with the exponent, the opposites. So if it's x negative 5, we will move it up as x5. If it's y5, y exponent 5, we will move up as y negative 5. Okay? Now add the numerators of the factors that have the same base. And we have here x negative 2 and x5. The answer is going to be, well, first the fraction. We can simplify 18 divided by 12 as 3 over 2. X negative 2 times x5 is x negative 2 plus 5, 3. And y8 times y negative 5 is y 8 minus 5, 3. This is the right answer. Oops. Okay? Moving on. Let me check something here. Yes. Okay. The next kind of question that we have is to write the numbers in scientific notation. Letter E. The population of Asia was 3,686,600,000. Let's write this using scientific notation. We will move the decimal points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 places. So we can write as 3 points. 6, 8, 6, 6 times 10. And since we moved 9 places to the left, is exponent 9, positive 9. Right? Letter F. A nanometer is 0.000001 of a millimeter. So let's write this number as a scientific notation, use scientific notation. We're going to move the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places to the right. Not to the left now, to the right. So it's going to be 1.0 times 10. And since we move it to the right, is negative 6. The exponent is negative. Okay. Next one. Oops, come back here. Now, about scientific notation. Multiply 8.0 times 10 exponent negative 6 times 1.2 times 10 exponent 5. Multiply the base, or not the base, the number that's in front of the scientific notation. 8 times 1.2, 9.6. Now we will multiply 10 negative 6 times 10, 5. And we have to add the exponents. So times 10, negative 6 plus 5, negative 1. This is the right answer. And for h, divide. Let me give you a hint. You can use your calculator. You can do by hand if you want, but you can use your calculator. Let me just clear this up and type. The number that you are dividing is 9,200,000, right? Divided by 0.004 equals. This is the result. Now type this button here, FE, that we change into scientific notation. And this is the answer in scientific notation. 2.3 times 10 exponent positive 9. So 2.3 times 10 exponent positive 9. Questions? If I'm going too fast, let me know. We need to complete the whole thing. I will skip a few, maybe here. Now we will work with addition or subtraction of polynomials. With addition and subtraction, the first step is to get rid of the parentheses. In the case we have an addition, the only thing that you need to do is get rid of the parentheses, and that's it. Combine like terms. You don't need to do anything else. Just get rid of the parentheses, and now we will combine like terms. And we have 7xy with 13xy, 7 plus 13, 20, xy. Another one, negative 3xz with negative 15xz is negative 18. xz, and the last one that we have here is positive 5yz with negative 8yz, negative 3yz. Right? Simple? Very simple, right? The addition of polynomials. Now, if we have subtraction, let's work here on letter L. We have here subtraction of polynomials. Pay attention. We can get rid of this first parenthesis here, the first polynomial, but the second one have the negative sign here in front of it, right? So before we get rid of the parenthesis, we need to change the sign of each term inside the parenthesis. So here is a positive 5a squared, becomes a negative. Here is a negative a3, becomes a positive, and here is a negative 8a, becomes a positive aa. And then you get rid of the parentheses, right? Because you will transform this second polynomial that's being subtracted into the opposites. Now we can combine like terms, so 3a squared minus 5a squared is minus 2a squared. And pay attention to combine like terms, negative 2a. The like term here is positive 8a, so plus 6a. And finally we'll have negative a cubed with positive a cubed. This will simplify 0. The answer is this. Okay? And we still have time. We are on time. Let's work on now the next kind of question that we have here, multiplication of polynomials. The first kind of multiplication you will work is applying distributive property. So you have a monomial times a polynomial. You will apply distributive property and multiply the monomial into each term of the polynomial. 2x times x squared, 2x cubed, 2x times negative 7x, negative 14x squared, and 2x times negative 4, negative 8x. Right? Simple. So this is just distributive property because you have a monomial times a polynomial. The second one is kind of the same thing, a distributive property. Now, letter O, we have binomial times binomial. And we will apply here the FOIL. Remember, FOIL methods. FOIL method is the terms on the front. Front is x and x squared. Now, O, outer, x times negative 7. Now I, inner, the inner terms, positive 6 times x. And the L means last. The last terms is 6 times negative 7, negative 42. Combine like terms because I have negative 7x plus 6x. And then the final answer is x squared minus x minus 42. Okay? Again, if you have questions, type here. I'm moving ahead because we need to work on most of the questions. Here is FOIL method as well. You can try by yourselves. Here is going to be FOIL. And here the FOIL method as well. Let me work on Q. And work this one. FOIL. If you have time, you come back and complete it. 3x times first is going to be the first ones, the ones on the front. 3x times 15x is 45 x squared. Now outer 3x times 25 plus 75 x. Now inner 5 times 15, 75x, and then last 5 times 25, 125. Combine like terms, and we have here 75 plus 75. The answer is 45x squared plus 150x plus 125. Okay? There are other questions of FOIL method as well. I have to apply FOIL, and maybe you are able to do by yourselves. If we have time, we get back to these questions. Let's work on the next kind of question here. Is to factor completely. Factor out the first one, letter S. We will apply the greatest common factor. Okay, find here the greatest common factor. 21 and 14. The greatest common factor between 21 and 14 is going to be 7. And Q squared and Q. The greatest common factor is going to be Q. Right? Hello, Alondra. Good morning. If you have any questions, let me know. Now, on this first term, 3Q to make 21Q squared. Good morning. And on the second one is 2. We are, Alondra, we are reviewing chapter 4 and checking questions that are going to be very similar to the test tomorrow. Okay, we have a test tomorrow, and this review is is going to be the base for the test. Most questions are going to be very, very similar. Okay, so for letter S, pretty simple, greatest common factor. Now letter T. Let me just split here the screen so we don't mix up. letter T. On letter T, we first need to find the greatest common factor between 12 and 75. And I think it's going to be 3. We can write as 3 times 4t squared minus 25, right? But 4t squared, we have to see that this binomial here is a difference of squares. We can rewrite this binomial as 3 times 2t, oops, let's say 3 times 2t squared minus 5 squared, right? And then you apply here the formula for the difference of squares. And the answer, the result is going to be 3 times, this is a to t minus b times a to t plus b. And this is going to be the answer. Okay? Let's check now letter U. And we have another form. Now we have difference of cubes here. We need to apply another formula. Remember the formula? Let me write down here at the bottom the formula: a cubed minus b cubed equals a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. You don't need to memorize the formulas. You have this in the summary. You can check online. You can have your formula sheet by your side. Don't memorize the formula. Just check when you need. Let's apply this formula on letter U. So it's a minus b times a squared is y squared plus ab 5y plus b squared is 25 is 5 squared 25. And this is the right answer for letter U. Okay, let me erase this. Now, well, the last one, letter V, that we have from about factoring is factoring by grouping. Remember factoring by grouping? You have to split this into 2 pairs, and we have 2x cubed plus x squared. We can find the greatest common factor of this is x squared, 2x plus 1. And negative 8x minus 4, we can factor out 4, and this is 2x plus 1. And this is cool because we have now the same binomial that we can factor out again. X squared minus 4 times 2x plus 1. You may think you finished, but have a look here. This is a perfect, the difference of perfect squares, because you can write 4 as 4 is the same thing as 2 squared, right? So it's x squared minus 2 squared. You can factor it out as x minus 2 times x plus 2 times, and then repeat 2x plus 1. Okay? And we are getting near the end. Now is the last topic that we worked, that we studied, is how to solve equations using the factoring techniques. For the first question, letter W, we need to find the solution for 2x minus 8 times x plus 7 equals 0. So for this expression here to be equal to 0, the first binomial needs to be equals to 0, or the second binomial needs to be equals to 0, right? So let's write here on the bottom, 2x minus 8 equals to 0, or x plus 7 equals to 0. And this one, 2x minus 8 equals to 0, then we need x equals to 4 to make the binomial equals to 0. This is one of the numbers. The next one, x plus 7 equals 0. So we need x equals negative 7 to make this equal 0. The answer is a pair, is a solution set. Negative 7 and 4. The right way of representing a solution set is by writing here in using curly brackets like this. But some students don't have the curly brackets on the keyboard. They find it hard to use the curly brackets. So on the quiz and on the test, you just need to type the numbers separated by comma. Okay? Next one, letter X. Check it out. Just fix this. I don't know why, but it's wrong. It's 0 instead of 1. To have the expression, the equation equals to 0, first you can have x equals to 0. We will make the expression equals to 0, right? And or you have 5x plus 4 equals 0. And that means x equals negative 4 over 5. So we have two solutions. The solution set is negative 4 over 5 and 0. Now, type the questions. I'm not getting any reply, any answers, any feedback. I'm going on. And maybe we will have time to review and to work out a few questions that we skipped. On letter Y, well, we have W2 minus 7W equals 0, and we need to factor out. It's not factored yet, so we have to factor out W. W minus 7 equals 0. Then, to have the product equals 0, you might have W equals 0, or W minus 7 equals 0. That means 0 is one of the answers, and the other one is W equals 7. Solution set here, 0 and 7. This is the solution set. Finally, letter Z. And this is a very interesting one because it looks hard, but it's not hard. Let me prove it to you. The first thing you have to do is factor. Find the greatest common factor of both terms. And we definitely can factor out 4p from both terms. And this is going to be 1, and the next one is going to be 16p squared. Right? But then this is equals to 0. Then this second one here, we can identify, we can see this is going to be a difference of 2 squares, because 1 is equals to 1 squared minus, and 16p is 4, 16p squared is 4p, within parentheses, is squared, just like that. That means we can factor out this using the formula, the difference of squares formula. 4p times 1 minus 4p times 1 plus 4p equals 0. The solution set is going to be p equals 0 here. To make this 0, we need p equals 1 over 4 And to make this binomial, the last one, equals to 0, we need p equals -1/4. Solution set is -1/4, 0, and 1/4. We have three numbers, three solutions for this problem, letter Z. And that's it. We still have a few minutes, a couple of minutes to review. Let me zoom out. I will show everything, but I think it's going to be too tiny to fit everything on the screen. See, it's too tiny. What I'm going to do, I will do in 2 steps, okay? Let me zoom in, and we see the whole thing in 2 steps. From A to L, I have all the solutions here from A to L. Okay, A to L, everything. Now okay, you can take a picture, and this will be available on YouTube, on our YouTube channel as well. I will upload today. And here at the bottom, the next part, from M to Z. Questions? Do you want to complete anything that we skipped? Any questions that we skipped? Do you want to check it out, to complete, to work on it? Let me give you at least the answers, so you can check your work. For letter N, let me see here, letter N is going to be -18 x cubed plus 15 x squared minus 12x. Okay, this is letter N. Letter P. Yes, Lisbeth. Yeah, this needs practice. But review this. Check out the video later to help you review. Apply FOIL on P. And you're going to be able to work on the test tomorrow. I'm pretty sure. X squared minus 11x plus 18. I will change maybe a few numbers. Not going to do lots of changes. And on R, x cubed minus y x squared plus x y minus y 3. Okay. Okay, that's the time that we have today. We also have target time if you want to come back and review any of the questions on target time. Feel free, you're welcome. So, thank you. See you later on target time if you're joining, or see you tomorrow. Good luck on the test.